Welcome to Audio Addiction. First of all, Happy New Year. But we have Glow with us, and he can say his name and what he does in the band.
My name is Ryan. I sing and write in the band.
Awesome. So, obviously, if you've been with the channel for a bit, you know Ryan's face. He was in another band, and now this is his new band. So, my first question for you, Ryan, is how did you start out Glow? How did you get your members?
Okay, actually, like the day that a lot of the material that we have, I met this chick like literally like 6 hours before we did our last interview. I lived out in Kentucky, and when that band fell through, a lot of really shitty shit happened, and I moved back to Virginia. And when I was moving back here, I flipped my car a few times and broke my spine in a couple of places. And I was on bed rest for like 3 months and wasn't really sure what I was going to do because Anchor's Brass had broken up, and music's really my only like escape or anything when it comes to like just like emotional baggage and shit that I like gather. And so while I was on bed rest, I just started writing these songs that ended up turning into the album that we recorded. And then I was also doing vocal covers like I do on my social media and all that shit. And my bassist, Jesse Gomez, found one of my Trophy Eyes covers and sent it to my guitarist, or my now guitarist, Brandon. And he sent me a demo that turned into the song Collab that we have. And I wrote it overnight, recorded all the vocals overnight, sent it back. And then we wrote an entire album in 2 weeks. Then we went out back to Kentucky like the month after that and recorded an album.
Awesome,
So
awesome.
it was a crazy process.
Yeah, absolutely. And do you think that the obviously you had another band and the sound, would you guys say the sound is similar, or did you go
No,
are you going in
no,
a lighter path? Like
no.
how does it
It,
how has the sound kind of
did, I
changed?
send, did I send you the record?
You did send me a song, but I'm just curious on like for people who kind of have followed you
Yeah.
since
No, I'm
now.
more. I'm gonna remind me to send you the record later on.
Oh, awesome.
It's completely different. Anchor's Fries was like that, like Dance Gavin Dance kind of Machines esque post hardcore sound. I was doing all the writing for the screaming vocalist Ricky and then me. So that was really fun to do. I wish we could have done a full record, but this style is more like if Brandon New
Okay.
and Blood were like, "Hey, let's fucking make a beautiful baby." It was something like that. I'm the guitarist Brandon. He wrote majority of the instrumentals and stuff. He just sent them to me, and I would rearrange it. And like I wrote all the lyrics and vocals and stuff. So like if there was song structure that I wanted to change, I would do that. But like he's like a baller when it comes to writing some tracks. Like I'm so happy I met him.
Awesome, awesome. My next question, Ryan. Obviously, we talked about musical influences, so I'm curious who influenced you on this record and like, what kind of different vocal changes you went through in terms of that.
Yeah. In the last interview, basically, every question, my answer was like just different post-hardcore bands and stuff. But with this one, I really wanted to get away from all the screaming and stuff. So while I was, just on bed rest and shit, I had all my music equipment in my room, and I just listened to music for like legitimately like 18, 16 hours a day. And I was listening to a lot of Moose Blood, and because like when I was on bed rest, I got off bed rest for like 3 days. I went to go see Too Close to Touch with some shitty ass band called Water Parks. I went to go see Trophy Eyes, and I saw Moose Blood. I'd never heard of them before. And just like their softer style of music really influenced me. And then, of course, but definitely a lot of movements, a lot of Trophy Eyes, brand new, and then a lot of like obscure stuff, like even the metalcore and post-hardcore like background that I had kind of bled through a little bit on some of the heavier tracks and moments in tracks. But like when I say getting away from screaming, I wanted it to only be like for emotional emphasis, and I think that's one thing that we did really well on the record.
Yeah, I could definitely like from the song that I heard from the clips and things of that nature, just through social media. I think for me, I got that sort of movements sort of vibe to your style of music also kind of, trophieize a little bit. And I do like the emphasis on screaming in that sense. And I also like it, metalcore, all that sort of stuff. But I think it's really important to show like that sort of emotional like
Yeah.
pull and like attachment and stuff like that, which is really interesting. Yeah, and it comes out more. I feel like more genuine if you're kind of like elating that sort of feeling. So definitely appreciate that.
Yeah. That was another thing with this record. Like, a lot of bands have like a niche or like a thing that when bands come out to shows is be like, hey, we support this message. And I was struggling with like a lot of different feelings and stuff. Like, we just like in the last year, there was a pregnancy. I was almost a dad at one point, and then that fell through. I didn't know how to deal with that, so I wrote a song about it. Uh, failure in a relationship, failure in bands, failure in things like, you have this YouTube channel, everything going, like it's passion and stuff. Like there's always that constant fear of failure with that, and I just wanted it to like be fucking okay, like be scared of things or to feel things or hurt and stuff like that. So I just wanted to be like open and honest and genuine in the songs.
No, and I think that definitely reflects in especially the clips that I've heard and all that thing, all the the stuff that you've got put out so far. I think that for me as somebody who listens to a lot of bands and goes through a lot of artists, I think that is a really good point and message for a lot of people to hear, because I'm sure it's not, like you said, it's not just you that feels that way. I know it sometimes I feel that way about shit too. So it's really cool to hear that and kind of have that sort of like emotional attachment to some band and like something and have that sort of cool movement. But my next question, Ryan, kind of a fun one. What have been some bands that you've been jamming more recently?
Okay, so I am critically, I am like I can't figure out the word for it, but I have slept on Lydia a lot.
Oh
And
man.
I've been listening to The Devil and Illuminate by them a lot, and they're so fucking good. Like it blows my mind. Some throwbacks, Attack. I haven't listened to them
Ooh man.
um, in middle school, early high school, and like Austin Carlisle was like the person who got me into doing vocals. I met him when I was like 14 or 15, and they just put out like Second and Sebring in their first record, and I was like, fuck, this is like exactly what I want to do. So I learned how to scream and shit. But I've been listening to that a lot, and then Copeland's really good. They also influenced the record. You know a band called PM Today?
Oh, I love PM Today. You don't have to talk to me about that.
Cool.
I
Cool.
love them. So
So fucking good. Their record in media res, like Ricky, the screaming vocalist in the last band that I was in, showed me them. I'm like, oh, God, I'm so glad. I'm so
yeah,
glad.
I'm
That was,
a
that was,
lot. I feel like a lot of people sleep on that band for
it's because they just
terrible
didn't.
reasons.
They were so beyond their time. Like Rise Records was putting out like fucking Attack, Numbers by
What was me?
Yellow with Me, and like all these good metalcore records, and then they just kind of slide this like funk fusion jazz
Yeah.
post hardcore triple melodies. Like no one was ready for it.
It was the same as like I felt like in that era it was the same thing as like Tides of Man 2 when they were on Rise. Like those
No
two
one-
bands, they
no
were
one-
like crazy good, and it upsets me that they are. Well, Tides of Man is still a band, but PM Today, it just bugs me that they are no longer together. Just because I listened to that record, like that one's probably one of my favorite records of all time. Definitely in my list of bands. But my next question is, ironically enough, kind of segues into our next question. Cover songs. I know you do a lot of them on Facebook, and you also post them on your YouTube channel. But if there was one song that you could do now, like if you were just thinking of one, which one would it be, Ryan?
Actually, I have five that I'm doing this week. So, thinking about doing Doomsday Architects.
Nice.
I haven't done a metal cover in a while. I've been doing a lot off of Movement's new album.
Yes.
It just has like a really similar style and voice to me, so like, super fucking easy. And then there was what's the song that I want to do some Prince.
Okay.
Yeah, it wouldn't get well received, and it probably wouldn't be that good, but I'll try some Prince.
Nah, you're doing it. You're doing it well, man. Like the PM Today one, I freaked out about because I was like, no one does no one does those covers. First of all, which bothers me as just a fan. But
Yeah, people just want to do like relevant songs. They want to do singles, and I'm just like, oh shit, what did I listen to when I was 12? Well, that's it.
there you go. Well, definitely do a Prince cover. I would love to check that out for sure.
Absolutely.
My next question, Ryan, we're gonna move into another OG question. If you could compile a dream tour, who'd be on it?
Dream tour. I think right now with the band that I'm in, probably Movements, Trophy Eyes, and then if Jesse Lacey hadn't fucked kids, probably done it. But since he did, probably not brand new. We'll throw on Taking Back Sunday.
Okay.
We'll just
I like that. Keep it moving. That's so true though. That's definitely
yeah, it's
so true.
There's it's like a really weird fine line now with I saw With Confidence the day before their allegations came out.
Oh my god.
The Movement store. I guess it was a Knuckle Fuck store, but Knuckle Fuck off. And yeah, I've been struggling with all these musicians that I've looked up to for a long time, and like they're just really not okay people, and I'm kind of glad that's coming out, but at the same time, like me from last year, 2017, Ryan is real sad about it.
I would also agree with that. It's definitely not something that should be hidden, but at the same time, it's something that if you like those bands, it's rough. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, and if you like being a decent human being, it's rough.
That too, definitely. But my next question, Ryan, if you could only have one album you could listen to for an entire month, a desert island album, what album would it be?
Oh, Feel Something.
Feel Something? Yeah.
I haven't heard a record that I think it's 12 songs, might be 10. All 10 or 12 songs, like they don't just hit home. They like it's like a Big Bad Wolf just fucking huff and puff and blew that house down. It hits home, destroys home. It does all the things it makes it feel. It's just it's a Will Yip record.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know, with you.
Yeah, and I think for me, like I'm not gonna spoil it because I don't want to spoil it because I put it in my albums of the year. But for me, I never was like the biggest fan of Movements. I thought their last EP was good.
I didn't know them.
I didn't know them either too well. And one of my buddies who lives close to me, he was like, "Oh, check them out," like stuff like that. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about them. They're okay. I've seen that. I actually saw them with This Wildlife like back when they were on their EP and stuff. And I was like, I don't know. Like I think they're okay. I think they're not bad, but I don't think they're great. And then for some reason, I checked out the single that they released on Feel Something, and I was just like, dude, this is... Yeah, exactly. My mind was blown, and I was like, I'm picking this record up. I don't care. Like, this... And it's been on repeat since, like, it came out, pretty much, for me.
Same. I heard that single, and I covered it, like 4 hours after it came out.
Wow.
And then they dropped Deadly Duel, and I was like, fuck.
That's just as good.
Wrote the record. Yeah, I have my great grandma. She's like 90 years old, 92 years old or something at this point. And I don't get to see her as much as I'd like to, but she started dealing with like dementia and stuff recently.
Oh, that's terrible.
Like, I listened to that song and I was like, holy fuck, this dude like just summed it up. Like that's wow.
Yeah, I think that for me, and typically it's so hard for me to kind of delve into lyrical content just because it would take forever for me to just like be like, okay, this is what the lyrical content is, and then take like months to figure it out. But the lyrics on this album are just so written in just such a way that for me like it hit home too. So definitely I like that recommendation. If you haven't checked that record out, and if we haven't praised it enough, I think you should go listen to it for sure. But lastly, Ryan, tell them about your band Glow. Tell them what's going on in your band's life and where they can find you at on social media.
We just put up our social media pages like last week. We've been a band for 8 months. Our social media handle is at Music by Glow on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And we have a record coming out in like 3-ish months that we recorded last year. And we have some really fucking cool shit coming out in like the next 2 months. We have 2 music videos, one of them featuring a really good friend of mine. And I can't tell too much about that. My bandmates can like cut my throat and shit. I think I've told you about it, but like they've been on my back. So like when we were actually shooting a music video with him, like we went and picked him up from the venue and everything. And like I was sitting there with my phone, and my guitarist is like, "Don't take a Snapchat, don't do it." You get on that, so I'm just like, dude, why?
Oh
So that's like one of the things that's like been in like back of my mind where I just want to like yell at everyone. And
Well, definitely keep an eye out for Glow. All of the links will be in the description. I've been following Ryan's stuff for ever since almost probably close to a year, if now. But definitely go give his stuff a listen. The new stuff is incredible. I love it. I'm excited for the new record to come out finally. And definitely go subscribe to their YouTube channel. They got a bunch of cool stuff coming up, like Ryan mentioned. Always trying to show love to this dude. I think he kills it vocally, so I think you gotta go give support where it's due. So definitely go give this guy a listen. Go check out his band Glow. Follow them, social media, all that stuff. If you enjoyed this interview, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to hit that thumbs up, and it really means a lot that you check out our stuff. And thanks to Ryan again for the second time for coming on. I appreciate it, man.
anytime.
All right, guys. Talk to you later. Peace. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Of course, if you enjoy what we do, make sure to go check out the other series we do. We do album reviews, we do band interviews, and we do live videos, so definitely go check that out. Hit that subscribe button. It really helps out our channel, helps us grow. Make sure to hit that like button as well. Go follow us on social media. That's all down below. We try to keep that as updated as possible. We also made a new website where we'll be posting photos of upcoming concerts and stuff like that, which you can go check out at audioaddictionmedia.com and come get your fix with us, guys. Talk to you later. Deuces.